Welcome to the FCICA product webinar series. We are pleased to have Jeff Johnson of MAPEI Corporation with us today. Jeff, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Lizzie. Thank you. Welcome, everyone, and appreciate everybody's attendance for today's webinar. It's a great opportunity for us, and I do thank the FCICA organization for the opportunity to talk to you a little bit about some of MAPEI's products. What we're going to be spending a little bit of time today with is to talk about some new product introductions and updates from MAPEI. We certainly don't have enough time in 45 minutes to go through the entire product portfolio, but we did launch some new and exciting products this year at our January Surfaces event. Hopefully those of you might have had a chance to come by and talk to us about some of those during that time frame. If not, we have a little bit of an introduction of some new stuff coming. To start off with, we're introducing a new self-leveling underlayment to the already extensive portfolio of levelers for MAPEI. I think this will be the 13th formulation we have. I always joke and say he who dies with the most self-leveling underlayment formulations wins, and I'm working on that very seriously to try to have as many as possible. The first one we have here is Polyplan RSL. It's a fast-setting self-leveling underlayment. You'll notice a little bit of a different change for us. The MAPEI product portfolio includes levelers that start with NovaPlan and ULTRABOND, but this one is Polyplan, and the reason for that, it is pretty much a polymer-modified self-leveling underlayment. Basically, it is a fast-setting two-part self-leveling underlayment, smoothing compound with enhanced bond that doesn't require mechanical profiling on concrete substrates, and can be applied without additional primers over non-porous substrates. That's the very important part of it. In today's world of fast-paced construction practices, contractors have always been asking us, whether it be MAPEI or any of our friendly competitors, I need to make this happen faster. I need steps removed out of the process. So it's particularly when you're doing moisture mitigation projects, the epoxy membrane goes down, and that takes time and energy to prepare. But there is a step involved of putting a primer down on top of that before you can skim coat or level on top of it. That primer takes time to apply, takes time to dry. Polyplan RSL is designed to be used on top of those membranes without a primer, so we are reducing that step. Okay? So Polyplan RSL. Its features and benefits is that it does not require water for mixing. That can be a benefit in some particular projects where water would have to be brought up from lower elevations to higher elevations. Sometimes the water quality is not good as well, but we are providing the liquid portion of this leveler as part of the system. It is a fast-setting product. It does cure up very quickly. It is ready for moisture-sensitive floor covering within 3 hours after application, so it's extremely rapid in terms of its cure time. It does not require additional primer. It's very high compression strength, but the handling characteristics of the product are very similar to some of the other self-leveling underlayments that you may be familiar with of the MAPEI product line. Very easy handling, very easy to pour, good flow time. So even though it's fast, it still has plenty of time for positioning and placement. Some of the performance attributes are it's still a cured density of 128 pounds per cubic foot density. You'll see that the compression strength at 28 days or even within 7 days is 4,000 psi or greater, and a good flexural strength of 1,400 psi as well. So a very high performance product and very durable as well. Again, some of the application characteristics are it does take 2 to 3 hours to mix it. It does apply to an 1/8 of an inch minimum to a 1/2 inch maximum. And the reason why it is a 1/2 inch maximum is that it does get warm during the curing process. And if you were to apply it at any thicknesses greater than a 1/2 inch, you'd build up a lot of heat. That heat may have a tendency to want to blow the product off the floor, which is not something we want you to have happen. So keep the single lift applications up to a 1/2 inch maximum. Again, waiting time for second coat applications. If you needed to build height, you could wait 3 hours and go on and do another 1/2 inch pour. But again, drying time for ceramic is about 2 hours after that goes down, and dry time for moisture-resistant flooring is within 3 hours. So again, a very fast product, shaves time off the process, and a very interesting and very unique product for the MAPEI product portfolio. Packaging, I think, is a little bit of interest to you. The product is provided in a 30-pound bag of powder and a 1-gallon bag of liquid. When we were first doing our initial field trials with this product, we had everything in the liquid portion in a gallon jug. And if you're doing a pour of any particular size, you wind up creating mountains full of plastic packaging that fills the trash bins pretty quickly. So, since this is a 1-to-1 ratio material, we put plastic bags for the liquid that directly match to the powder that goes forward. So, what's nice about that, again, is you've got totally plastic packaging that's pretty compressible, doesn't take up a lot of space in terms of the waste bin. What I like about it is that it's a packaging system that prevents you from overwatering or underwatering a leveler application. You really can't make a mess out of this. I guess if you wanted to put 2 part Bs in with 1 part A, that might be a problem, but it's a 1-to-1 ratio, so you can't overwater, underwater, which is some of the problems we occasionally have with our other leveler portfolio. Okay, so anyway, that's the packaging configuration. The powder comes packed in a pallet of 100 bags on the deck, and the liquid portion is packed in a case of 4 1-gallon jugs, and those are 96 units on a pallet. So it's a pretty close to a 1-to-1 ratio of 1 pallet of liquid and 1 pallet of powder. It gets you pretty much the job done. How to position Polyplan RSL. Again, if you take a look at the time savings and labor savings involved, if you look at a traditional moisture mitigation and leveling project, which I believe where Polyplan RSL might find its most of its home, again, profiling the concrete is necessary. The VS goes down. It takes 8 to 9 hours to cure. A secondary primer needs to be applied. That would be primer T, and that has to dry for 5 hours. And then applying another leveler on top of it to wait 16 to 24 hours before installing vinyl flooring. So if you add up all those up in a pure sequential time frame, that's 38 hours worth of waiting and applying time. But if you take a look at Polyplan's use of a fast-track moisture mitigation system, still profile the surface, place Planisil VS fast, which does shave a couple hours off the cure time. Once that's done, you directly apply the Polyplan RSL, and you're installing sheet vinyl in 3 hours afterwards. So a total hours required to the installation of sheet flooring is 9. So you get the general consensus that this is a very fast curing leveler, and it does provide a great deal of benefits in terms of providing a product that goes over a product without a primer. I do want to make a mention that Polyplan RSL is not what I would consider primer-less. You still need to put a primer on porous substrates, a porous concrete, a porous plywood, or so on and so forth, to prevent the off-gassing or the occasional pinholes that might be occurring of air coming out of the concrete, working its way through the leveler and creating a little bit of a surface issue. So if you're working on porous substrates, you still need to put a primer. But anything that's non-porous, properly prepared porcelain tile, VCT, sheet vinyl that's properly bonded, anything else that's epoxy coatings, epoxy terrazzo, epoxy moisture mitigation systems, these are where Polyplan RSL works extremely well without the need for a primer. Makes a very, very pretty product. The final bullets of this, again, Polyplan RSL. RSL stands for Rapid Self-Leveling. It's a 2-part system, does not require water for mixing. Fast set time for rapid floor covering installation, as I mentioned, 2 hours for ceramic, 3 hours for vinyl. Doesn't require primer, so that eliminates that step. Very high compression strength of 4,800 psi at 28 days. And again, excellent flow properties and a smooth defect-free surface. This is being launched as we speak. If you have any more questions about that or would like to have a sample of it, by all means get in contact with your local MAPEI sales rep or technical service rep, and they'd be more than happy to demonstrate and talk to you more about that in person. Okay. Another two products we introduced at the Surfaces Trade Show this year, which we're very excited about, are two products called Mapecontact MRT and Mapecontact SRT. These are high moisture resistant installation tapes for resilient and wood flooring. A little bit of background about what these are all about. Again, traditional floor covering installation techniques are required and burdened by moisture testing, moisture mitigation costs if required, and the time to do all that preparation. Again, not to mention wait times for full traffic after floor has been installed using normal adhesive systems. So Mapecontact products are introduced to eliminate all of those steps. They're high performance, double-sided acrylic tapes that do not require moisture testing, are moisture resistant on their own, and do provide moisture barriers when needed, particularly in wood floor installations, and allow for instant flooring installation with a minimum preparation and instant utilization. So once the floor is installed with Mapecontact product, the furniture can be put in place, the room opened up to traffic, normal traffic, heavy traffic, etc. So they are a very unique set of materials that we're very excited about. Mapecontact MRT, MRT stands for moisture resistant tape, is designed for resilient flooring installation, luxury vinyl tile and plank, vinyl composition tile, modular rubber flooring, sheet flooring as well. All those products are designed for the use of this. It goes down very easily over smooth concrete surfaces. Again, no moisture testing is required to double check their use, just asking that there's no standing water left on the floor before you install it. Now, I will address a point that I get called on quite often about the technical data sheet for Mapecontact MRT or even SRT. I do have a moisture limit, I guess if you will, of an RH level of 99%. And in my mind, a way of thinking that is a maximum number. And if it's 99%, you really don't need to test it. Again, my logic behind that is most of the moisture meters stop at 99%. They only have 2 digits, so we don't have things that are 100. So take it from Jeff, the guy that wrote it, I'm implying 100% RH is the number. No moisture testing is required. No pH testing is required, etc. So these products can be used with all of that. They work extremely well on burnished concrete slabs, very smooth, very slick systems. And we are also recommending the use of these products over silicate-treated concrete slabs, whether they be integral or topically applied. They can be applied directly on top of it. They work very well on tops of non-porous substrates. Again, Mapecontact, a very thin film. It's a 6-micron film, double-sided acrylic tape. What you see in the picture there is the blue release liner. That's a very durable material that allows you to place it on the floor, put traffic on it, doesn't cut, doesn't tear, doesn't fall apart. When it's time to install, you simply pull that release liner back and install flooring. It's not obvious in this photograph, but the material itself is clear, so you can put down all of your layout lines first on the floor, cover it over with a tape, and then pull the release liner off, and you'll see all your layout lines, and you're ready to go. Again, it's unaffected by high moisture conditions in concrete and can be installed without moisture testing. It comes in 4 different widths. We have provided in a 36-inch wide by 166-foot roll, which is roughly 498 square feet. We also provide it in a 1-foot wide, 166-foot, a 6-inch, and a 3-inch roll also. Both of them are 166 feet as well. So when you're doing installations, you might want to order a smattering of sizes. If you're doing a 10-foot drop, for example, 3 3-foots and 1 1-foot will help make that go pretty easily, as opposed to cutting off 2 feet of a 3-foot roll to make that fit. not necessarily a good use of the material. Okay. The second one in the line is Mapecontact SRT. SRT stands for Sound Reduction Moisture Resistant Tape for Resilient and Wood Flooring Installation. And this one was primarily developed for the installation of engineered and solid domestic and exotic hardwood flooring on top of a concrete slab. But it can also be used for the installation of luxury vinyl plank and tile in residential markets where acoustic properties are required. Again, it's unaffected by high moisture, can be installed without moisture testing. If you are installing this product for wood, we recommend that you use a 3-inch wide roll of Mapecontact MRT at the seams, underneath the seams, to provide a homogeneous moisture vapor barrier solution for the wood flooring. Again, we do have sound test data. I don't know if I have that here on the presentation, but we have tested this and have information relative to 3/4-inch oak, 3/8-inch engineered oak, as well as I think a 2mm luxury vinyl plank as well, all of which are providing great sound acoustic numbers. You can get that as a download from our website on the technical data sheet. I think the delta numbers on the 6-inch concrete slabs were in the 23 to 24 range, so very good acoustic properties. Again, instant functionality and instant usage. If I'm going forward here, Mapecontact SRT is a double-sided foam core dry film tape for rapidly and permanently installing all of those types of flooring that are on that list, designed for Boston, both residential and commercial installation. There is a little bit of an installation technique for installing things which are tongue and groove or click systems. This tape is extremely aggressive, and if you place something in it, it doesn't really want to let go of it. That's kind of its purpose. So you'll see here this very handsome wood floor installer who I know quite well, doing work on the picture there where he's working on the back side of the release liner. So basically what you can do is put together multiple rows of wood flooring, lock it together, get the tongue and groove placed properly, and then simply pull the release liner out from underneath it. The wood drops into the adhesive bed and it's locked in permanent. Again, very fast grabbing and very easy installation. Side benefits of this also, as you notice, there's no sticky glue getting on top of the surface of the floor. There are no buckets of urethane left over. The blue release liner can be put in a recycle bin. It's a plastic material, it's recyclable, and the cardboard core that the product comes on is also recyclable. So it's a pretty interesting product in terms of its environmental contribution. Again, 0 VOCs, an infinite shelf life, an infinite open time, and so on and so forth, to make these things extremely interesting products. You know, where Mapecontact MRT fits within the line of MAPEI's other products for resilient, it's pretty much at the top of the food chain. Again, no VOCs, unlimited moisture, just make sure there's no standing water, instant utilization, instant functionality. All that stuff is great product there. The SRT, in terms of its fit within our wood flooring line, is also very much at the top of the chart in terms of its positioning. Again, on no moisture limits, instant functionality, no VOCs, no hazardous components, no cleanup, no sticky residues, and so on and so forth. So very exciting products. We're very excited to see how these things move in the marketplace. Again, how to use them. Very quite simply, clean the substrate to remove all the debris. Prepare any of the defects using moisture-resistant products, such as Planiprep MRS, Mapecontact Quick Patch, or Extreme 2. These are products that are designed to take high moisture environmental conditions without disintegration. Once those are placed and cured properly, the MRT SRT goes down. You pull back the release liner to expose the adhesive bed and install floor covering. Replace the furniture and fixtures and put the room back into service. Again, a little bit of, we mentioned this before, I'm sorry about the redundancy. For wood flooring, same process, get the floor clean, place the tape, pull back just enough of the release liner to expose about 1 inch of the adhesive material, start installing the wood, and then pulling the release liner out from underneath it. Again, once it's done, you can put the furniture back in place, including grand pianos, whatever, and it's a very fast system. This installation you see on the screen was roughly 340 square feet of 360 square feet of wood flooring. My counterpart there, Tony Ziola, and I put this together in roughly 45 minutes, start to finish. Again, no smell, no odors, no cleanup, and it was a beautiful installation was done. Now, how you're going to price them, I'll be honest with you, these products are not inexpensive. And if you're going to compare that to a direct material cost of a traditional trowel grade adhesive for the installation of luxury vinyl tile and plank, we will lose at all times. But you have to consider where they work. They are unaffected by moisture conditions, the maximum levels. They're not affected by the pH associated with it as well. So you need to compare them to traditional systems that require mitigation. So if you look at traditional systems of shot blasting, mitigation, primers and levelers, all that stuff costs about $6.25 a square foot, and there's all that much of time involved. Mapecontact on the other floor needs a clean floor. Doesn't necessarily need to be shot blasted or ground in any way. It actually works better on glossier surfaces. You need to prep a little bit, install the Mapecontact, and please don't quote me. Those are just estimates at the point of purchase. So the total cost is relatively inexpensive, and the time savings is huge for those kind of things. Again, the same kind of story goes for the sound reduction tape, the SRT. Same story. It's a little bit more expensive than one-step moisture-cured urethane solutions, but the cleanup is always an issue. The weight, as far as I'm concerned, a roll of the SRT weighs roughly 36 pounds. In order to have the same amount of urethane adhesive to match the coverage of that 36-pound roll, you would need 220 pounds of urethane adhesive. So it's very lightweight. Okay. This is the acoustic information. What you'll see on the left are some traditional methods that we have using trowel grade urethanes. First one here is 985 with solid oak, 995 with engineered wood flooring, and Mapecontact with Eco 360 with a luxury vinyl plank. You'll see deltas of 17s, 21s, and 20 using those normal situations. Mapecontact SRT, on the other hand, provides very solid STC and IC numbers with deltas in the 24s to 23 ranges. So again, a lot of benefits with these two products. Again, summary of selling points. Both the MRT and the SRT are no moisture limits. They're instant bonds. They're available for immediate traffic once they go down. MRT, we believe, has got some of the ultimate rolling load resistance, again, because it's a 6-micron film. There's a very, very thin layer of adhesive that's holding this whole system in place. A single-step process, reduce a lot of step and prep as well. It is clear so that layout lines can be seen, and it does come with a lifetime performance warranty. The SRT, again, it's got multiple functionalities, whether it be for resilient or wood. Again, available for immediate foot traffic. It does provide some cushion underfoot when you're walking on that. It's got sound dampening properties, single step as well, and a lifetime performance warranty going forward. Okay? So that is a lot of news about our MRT and SRT. Again, MAPEI is striving to bring you innovative products that provide you solutions. Is this going to be for every installation you do? Absolutely not. I understand that. But where time is of an essence and you've got to get in and got to get it out, these are great products for that. We're also finding a lot of interest in this in the medical environment, hospital builds where they don't want any VOCs whatsoever. People are calling up on this and saying, I need this instead of traditional adhesives, and we'll pay for it. I would be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit about Planiprep MRS. I just want to bring this back up to you. Planiprep MRS is our moisture-resistant skim coat that we developed and launched, I think last year it was. We know that adhesives and adhesive systems and even our Mapecontact products are pushing the envelope in terms of their ability to resist moisture, but we also need to address subfloor preparation with that in that same breath. Traditional products in the MAPEI portfolio like Planipatch and Planiprep SC and even some of our normal levelers are not going to be able to handle these high elevated RH levels. They're going to not get to their ultimate compression strength. They may actually soften over time, and that's not a good situation where you're putting high performance flooring system in place. So that is what MRS was, our moisture resistant skim coat. It joins our family of Mapecontact Quick Patch for patching and ULTRABOND Extreme 2 for leveling. So, again, MAPEI, I believe, has a very nice system of skim coat, deep fill and patch, and leveler with 3 products that are designed and specifically engineered to handle high moisture resistant preparation products. Again, MRS, hydraulic cement based, has no moisture retention limits. Again, make sure there's no standing water, and off you go, and that's how it's used. Easy mixing, smoothing characteristics, can be applied before HVA systems are installed or interior finishes are in place, and high compression strengths for use in heavy traffic conditions. Where would you use this? In terms of where it fits underneath MAPEI products, we have a variety of systems, ULTRABOND G15, the 2 tape systems, and all these wood flooring adhesives that we have. If you're doing prep underneath them, you should be using either Planiprep MRS, Quick Patch, or Extreme 2, because these are no-limit systems of adhesives. Underneath the moisture control solutions that we have as well, if you want to do prep before you apply a moisture mitigation system, you need to use Planiprep MRS, or Quick Patch, or Extreme 2. Okay. Again, where it fits in terms of the overall scheme of things, Planiprep MRS is a feather edge to 1/4 of an inch. It's good for ceramic tile in 6 to 12 hours, 24 hours for cover resilient wood. But if you put a moisture resistant installation system over it, you can do it in 2 hours. These numbers may sound a little bit weird, but MRS is designed to have a moisture resistant system applied on top of it. If you want to use it just as a normal skim coat with normal flooring and normal installation materials, you've got to let it dry a little bit further. If you need more information on that, again, please talk to your MAPEI rep. I'm sure he'll be glad to explain more about that. In the adhesive domain, we've introduced an adhesive January 2019 called ULTRABOND ECO 811. And 811 is our introduction of a universal carpet tile adhesive. This is a product that's designed to work with all types of carpet backings, whether they PVC, non-PVC, polyolefin, bitumen, felt back, you name it, those can be installed with ECO 811. It can also be used to bond fiberglass reinforced sheet vinyl as well. Again, it's a unique formulation, providing with excellent grab and tack for all carpet tiles. It can be used, of course, for permanent releasable installation, depending upon how you install it. Green Label Plus, it's got Living Building Challenge LB Red List free, and so on and so forth. Where this fits, we used to have ECO 810 and ECO 885. ECO 810 was our vinyl back carpet tile adhesive, and ECO 885 was our polyolefin backed carpet tile adhesive. Those two now can be replaced by a single product. Another thing that we need to deal with as well, and the other real main reason why 811 was developed, is because the carpet structures themselves are changing. And this is a little bit of an interesting situation because they're not really being very open and upfront with it. The real reason for that is the plasticizers that were commonly used in the backings for many of these carpet tiles are now finding themselves on a Prop 65 list. And in order to avoid having to put this wonderful symbol on your packaging, you need to get rid of that particular plasticizer or that kind of chemical. And again, the carpet mills are doing this a little bit backdoor because they're changing out their plasticizers and all these vinyl backings quietly, so that they don't have to go back and say, oh, by the way, all the carpet tile you're sitting on right now has got a chemical that's Prop 65 in it. So why is that all important to us in a glue standpoint? Well, those plasticizers, the new ones that they're using, were not necessarily very friendly with the acrylic polymers that we were using previously. So we developed a product specifically designed to handle whatever plasticizer the carpet manufacturer group throws at us. So that is why ECO 811 has been developed. Again, will help you as a contractor to consolidate all of your different choices of carpet tile adhesives into one. I think you're getting close to the last of the things that we're introducing here. We introduced a new adhesive also this year, ULTRABOND ECO 977. It's a fast-setting urethane adhesive for hardwood flooring. It is a kind of an interesting product for us. It's provided in a 4-gallon pail. It's a lightweight formulation. It's really fast, so if you want to use it for starter rows, it's a great product to start with, if you will. It's got a 2-hour lockdown time, very strong bonding product. And also there is an installation technique that can be used, which basically says you need to put the coverage around 30 square feet per gallon of coverage and a 100% coverage rate using a 1/4-inch V-notch trowel or even a 1/4 by 1/4 by 1/4 square. But you can get up to 12 pounds of moisture vapor emission rate and 95% relative humidity coverage by using that as well. So again, very exciting product, very competitively priced. If you're in the wood flooring installation market, I would highly recommend you take a look at this one going forward. A very interesting product. Sets quickly to control wood movement. Again, 100% solids, low odor, negligible VOC. It's a mid-range product for us in terms of our total portfolio, but again, it does provide some moisture protection for the wood flooring that goes on top of it. It is not recommended at this point in time for the installation of bamboo, and we'd want you to try to stick with our 985 or 983 for that as well. So how to use it? Generally speaking, by itself, you can do your preparation of the subfloor with our moisture-resistant products, MRS Quick Patch Extreme. Again, moisture conditions of up to 12 pounds or 95%, and install with 977. Or you can combine it, again, with using our moisture-resistant patching products with our product called PlaniSeal PMB, our polyurethane moisture barrier and bonding agent, a 1 coat on top of the concrete slab, and put an ULTRABOND ECO 977 on top of it, and you have a 100% moisture-controlled installation solution for wood. It's a very fast one and probably a very cost-conscious solution as well. Again, the final bullets on that is ECO 977, 2-hour set time, moisture control up to 12 pounds and 95%, coverage rate of 34 square feet, and low density. The product weighs about 40 pounds for that 4-gallon pail, so it's easier to move around. Okay? And having said all that, that is pretty much the end of my stories. So if there are any questions in the field, I kind of give it back to Lizzie and see if she'd like to moderate that. And by all means, we have a few minutes left for questions. Please take that opportunity. You can ask me about anything on the presentation or anything else that you may have a question about. Lizzie?
Excellent. Thanks so much, Jeff. So, if you need to ask a question on your control panel, you can see in the bottom left screen, you've got the presenter info, and then you've got a Q&A tab. So you can go ahead and type in, like Jeff said, any question that you have for him. This is a great opportunity to talk with a technical rep, and we can get those questions answered. So Jeff, will you be at FCICA's 2019 convention?
I will. I'm looking forward to it. You mentioned has a great pool. I got to make sure I include some swim trunks with my travel plans. But yes, I'll be there. We will be exhibiting as well. Many of the products that I mentioned here we'll actually have some information about. We will have some brochures about the Mapecontact MRT. They'll have some samples for you to take a look at as well. But yes, we're looking forward to seeing all of you. Make sure everybody, comes to visit. It's a great time to get together and network.
Yeah, should be a lot of fun. We've got some really cool opportunities at this convention. I do not currently see any questions coming through. Oh, never mind. I lied. We have a question. How soon will the MRT and SRT be available to the market?
Now. It is available now. Please get with your local sales rep for pricing information. But we have stock of the material. It is ready to go. Love to hear about your project. Please let me know what's going on. But yes, we have stock of it today.
Excellent. What's the easiest way for them to find their local rep?
Well, you can certainly start with your local representation of your distributor where you purchase MAPEI products. That is your first step, and if you don't know who the MAPEI, they will certainly be able to clue you with a MAPEI rep. You can certainly contact us. 954-246-8888 is the main headquarters here, and we can direct you to whoever that rep would be. I'm pretty sure we have distribution information available on our website to find out where you can find MAPEI products. I think that would be my best recommendation. If you can't solve that, by all means, contact me directly, and I'll get you in the right direction very quickly.
Awesome. Okay. Now I really do not see any more questions coming through. So we are going to wrap this up. Thank you so much, Jeff, for presenting all of this wonderful new information about MAPEI. And
My
everyone
pleasure.
else, thank you so much for joining us today. I apologize for the delay in starting. Jeff has kept us on time today, so that's great. And you can go along with your planned schedule. Again, don't forget to join us on March 20th. That will be our next webinar. It'll be Shawnox. And then after that, it'll be convention. I look forward to seeing everyone there, and have a great rest of your day.